Earlier this week, the U.S. concluded that Russia violated a landmark arms control treaty by testing a prohibited ground-launched cruise missile. At the heart of the issue is a 1987 treaty that bans American and Russian ground-launched ballistic or cruise missiles capable of flying 300 to 3,400 miles. That accord, which was signed by President Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev, the Soviet leader, helped to seal the end of the Cold War and has been regarded as a cornerstone of American-Russian arms control efforts. This is yet another test of U.S. leadership as this comes on the heels of Russian aggression in Ukraine and Russia's alleged involvement in supplying weapons to the rebels accused of shooting down flight MH17. Joining us now live via Skype to talk about this issue is leadership expert Dusty Staub. Dusty, thanks for joining us. And in your opinion, what can and should the U.S. be doing to keep the Russian president in check?
Well, Jay, that's a great question. And I think that you have to go back to think about another president, which was Ronald Reagan. When another jetliner was shot down, when it was clear the Soviet Union was violating agreements, he beefed up things. Pershing missiles were put in Europe. He challenged the Soviet Union to an arms race that bankrupted them. In fact, Mikhail Gorbachev and Margaret Thatcher said that the chief architect of the end of the Cold War was Ronald Reagan. He had a lot of help from Pope John Paul II and from Lech Walesa and also from Václav Havel and others, but it led to that. And I think what has to happen is that our president needs to show real strength, and he needs to show some resolve. One of the problems is that Putin is a master chess player. He's very proactive. He plans ahead. When he was thinking if Ukraine elections didn't go the way he wanted, if things didn't turn out, he already had plans in place. The U.S. and Europe were caught flat-footed. We have made hope a strategy. So I think one of the first things is both the European nations, NATO alliance, the U.S., we need to stop hoping that Putin will be a reasonable person. He's a bully. He said that one of the greatest evils was the breakup of the Soviet Empire. He would like to recreate something like that. He wants those client states around him. I think we're going to have to be proactive. We've got to be realistic. I'm going to go back to something President Theodore Roosevelt said, speak softly but carry a big stick. And that doesn't mean be weak. It just means speak consistently and powerfully, but always have it backed up. And I think we're going to have to do more for Ukraine and more in there if we're going to have Putin take us seriously.
The previous presidents, including Reagan and Kennedy, have played the stare-down game with Russia and did not blink. So what can we do?
Well, I think that the to not blink would be, we had talked at one time about putting anti-missile missiles in Poland and in other countries, and then President Obama decided not to do that as a sign of trying to reset relations with the Soviet Union. Well, they haven't been reset. I think we need to look at those client states again and talk about putting missile defenses in, that we start to send military aid, not military people, no boots on the ground, but military aid to Ukraine. Provide intelligence oversight. Let Putin know we're going to provide intelligence.
We're going to provide him with military equipment, and we're going to move forward.
Have a chance of working?
I think it does. I think it could have a real impact, and it could make a big change.
Dusty, thank you for joining us this afternoon to talk about this, something that will still be discussed, I'm sure, for weeks, probably months to come. Thanks for your time this afternoon.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Have a good day.